when the Pope first took office, it was questioned as to whether he was going to go in a more progressive direction or if all of his progressive talk in the past was just a ruse to cover up his conservative past and his conservative future, most importantly. Well, it turns out, no, not really. He does appear to be significantly liberal. Of course, it depends on an issue-by-issue basis, and it doesn't mean the Catholic Church is right about everything. Obviously, I wouldn't think that as an agnostic, and I don't think that the Pope is infallible. Obviously, right? But he has been saying some terrific things, and you really have to keep an open mind about this guy. And so in Italy, there's a paper called La Repubblica, which is a liberal publication. It's run by an atheist, Eugenio Scalfari. And he asked the Pope an interesting question. He said, God forgives those who do not believe and do not seek faith. Does he? Does he forgive people who are atheists if they are doing the right things? Now, popes in the past would have been like, oh, hell no. Going straight to hell. One-way ticket is only through Jesus Christ. If you don't, sad day for you. Well, not Pope Francis. Here's what he had to say. Given that, and this is the key point, God's mercy has no limits. If you go to him with a sincere and repentant heart, the issue for those who do not believe in God is to obey their conscience. He went on to say, sin, even for those who have no faith, is when one goes against their conscience. To listen and to obey to one's conscience means to decide oneself in relation to what's perceived as good and evil, and this decision is fundamental to determining the good or evil of our actions. Now look, that's a really broad and terrific statement to make. Now, it's ironic because if you're a real atheist, you don't really care whether you're going to heaven or hell because there is no heaven or hell. I certainly believe that as an agnostic. So it's not like, oh, whew, Pope Francis thinks I'm making it to heaven anyway. If I thought that, I might be a Catholic. But it does go to the idea of how open the Catholic Church is going to be to others and how magnanimously they act and how much they focus on the positive teachings of Jesus Christ, which talks about just kindness and openness to everyone, the poor, the needy, and yes, the people who are not like you. And the fact that Pope Francis is pushing in that direction is terrific. Now, every time he makes one of these statements, the Vatican pushes back. There's a whole bureaucracy there. And then they come back with a backpedal saying, well, I mean, not exactly. I mean, you really still have to go through Jesus. So the Pope's a little off the reservation, even though we still think he's infallible, which is a little weird. But nonetheless, don't get us wrong, we're not that open. And one man can't change everything overnight, but he certainly seems to be pushing in the right direction. And to see that he's open to other religions and other ways of thinking, and to say that what's most important are your acts and that you don't violate your own conscience is really terrific. It's really encouraging to see a pope who actually cares about everybody.